Hey everybody, Scotty V here. Now today, on this special episode, I'm going to be doing it solo because of reasons I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to be doing this solo. So today I'm going to be talking about the Avengers 4 movie. Mark Ruffalo was recently on Jimmy Fallon and talking about the title, and I have some speculations on that, and they really bleeped them out. I'm not too sure why they would bleep him out. I understand it's a spoiler, but also Mark Ruffalo said that the title's out there, so might as well reveal it. I know this is all a publicity stunt, and I know Marvel and Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo are like spoiler bros, so they like to spoil the content, and they kind of use that to their advantage, and it works because people believe them. So now the one of the rumored titles for Avengers 4 is Annihilation, which I think is a great title for the Avengers movie. Now, based on the Annihilation comics, it was a lot more complicated, and Galactus was involved, the Super Skrulls, and it's like more space based. And I don't see Avengers 4 really going super deep into space like the Guardians of the Galaxy. And in Annihilation comics, Thanos is kind of flipping on both sides. He either goes as a hero to help the Avengers, or he becomes a bad guy and does his own agenda, right? I don't see them doing that, and there's a lot of characters like Galactus and a whole bunch of other characters that are in the Annihilation comics, which they cannot use because the deal's not finalized. And I'm pretty sure they've already finished filming Avengers 4, and they're in post-production, excuse me, on getting all the CGI and stuff together. Now, with that said, recently a producer, I believe, came out and said that Avengers 4 is going to take place 5 years after the events of this, Infinity War, after the famous snap. Now, I think that's good and bad, and I'll tell you why. Because it's good that it's a time jump, 5 years. I don't know if that's too much of a time jump, but I can understand why they're doing that. And at the same time, doing the time jump is not a good thing because Marvel's movies have always been consistent with their timelines, always being in real time. I know Black Panther was like a prequel to Infinity War, which I think most movies were, but it took place 2 months after Civil War, and I guess a couple of months before Infinity War. Um, Now, my concern is Spider-Man. Now, before I get to talk about Spider-Man Far From Home, come on, guys. Spider-Man's gonna be in Avengers 4 or Avengers Annihilation. Um, Scarlet Witch is gonna be there. Everybody's gonna be back because they have to undo the snap. I think, unless they decide not to do it, but because we got set photos of Spider-Man Far From Home, which makes sense because they have to reverse what happened, right? Ant-Man's stuck in the quantum realm, which I think he's going to use a time vortex to get out and help out the Avengers 5 years later. I think it's going to take him 5 years to get out, but you never know because Hope, Janet, and Hank kind of just vanished after the whole famous snap, right? So, yeah. They would have to either meet up with Thanos to retrieve the gauntlet or go to other realities and get their own Infinity Stone, which I don't know if that would work because they get other Infinity Stones. I don't think the Infinity Stones of other realities would work on our reality. Now, I consider our film universe as a 616 as the main story comics or the main stream of movies, which I consider that to be, which I think a lot of us believe it is, right? So I don't know, and you know what? Because Spider-Man Far From Home is immediately right after Avengers 4, Avengers Annihilation. Mark Ruffalo at one point said something else, man. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I heard someone put on Instagram him saying The Last Avenger, which I highly, highly, highly doubt that's the title of the movie because Avengers, The Last Avenger does not make sense to me. It could to some people, but it doesn't make. So what? I know a lot of them are gonna be finish. They're gonna die. I think only one of the producers said only like two of the six original Avengers are gonna survive. But yeah, the Last Avenger doesn't seem likely. Annihilation means, I would assume, makes more sense in my brain, right? Now back to Spider-Man. Spider-Man's supposed to take place right after Avengers 4. But if the gap between Infinity War and Avengers 4 or Avengers Annihilation is 5 years, Peter Parker's already done high school. And if they're focusing Peter on in high school, how can they focus him in high school if it's 5 years later? Right? You see my point? Because by then he would have finished high school because he was in grade 10, I believe, sophomore year in Homecoming, and I think his senior or grade 11 during Infinity War would make sense. He would finish school, but I'm not sure because some of the set photos show that they're on a field trip. So I don't know if they undo the snap or something big happens, everything goes back to the time when this snap was happening or gonna happen. So instead of taking place 5 years later, it'll take place back in 2018, real time basically, and then they continue the story from there. In Annihilation, Drax is the one that killed Thanos, which I highly doubt he'll do, because the whole thing with Dave Bautista. I know this is like old news, but I don't think Drax will do anything. I see more Nebula or Captain Marvel doing the damage. Captain Marvel movie is coming on, I think, a month before Avengers 4. So I see Brie Larson's Captain Marvel like taking most of the screen time. But at the same time, I understand the producers, and I believe Kevin Feige, I'm not 100% sure, said that the screen time would be more between Tony and Steve, building their relationship up again because of what happened in Civil War, and they were separated because of the Black Order coming to New York, and they were, in Scotland, saving Vision. Is Vision coming back? I don't know. I honestly don't know. He was a very underused character. You could do so much with Vision. Vision just looked like he was a pawn. You know, like those pawns in chess. You just move up, and then if they get knocked out, they're out. That's how I felt Vision was, because Vision can be so much more. He's one of the smartest artificial intelligence in the MCU. He was smarter than Ultron. Now, I don't know if he's coming back. You know, I hope he does, because Paul Bettany does an amazing job as Vision. He did great as Jarvis, just as the voice. So I'm very excited to see what he can do for Vision if they decide to return him. Uh, and we all know Scarlet Witch and possibly Loki are gonna get their own TV show. I don't know, but with Avengers 4, it's gonna change the MCU. We all know that. Chris Evans recently tweeted that he has officially wrapped filming on Avengers 4, so that means he's done as Captain America. Now I think Captain America uh, is gonna make the ultimate sacrifice, because you know what? As much as I love Captain America, but it seems like he's the most likely candidate to sacrifice himself to save the greater universe. I'm no Captain America, that's for sure. If I was Captain America, I would need like some. I need to be really brave to sacrifice myself for the universe, which I don't think I can do that. The most likely candidate is Captain America or Iron Man, one or the other. But I don't see Robert Downey Jr. stepping away from the role just yet. He might do a couple more cameos, but I'm just speculating on what might happen. Now, for the trailer, we just had our Canadian Thanksgiving, so happy belated Thanksgiving to our civil Canadians fans or Canadian fans. But for the trailer, I don't think it's coming till at least November during the whole American Thanksgiving Black Friday event. So, and it's only going to be a teaser, guys. It's not going to be something mind blowing like how the first Infinity War trailer did. It which broke records. I don't know how that's ridiculous. It just broke records in less than 24 hours, which good on Marvel, because when you build the trust of the fans, you're going to strike gold every time. Alright guys, so if you guys like this episode of the Solo Canadians, hit like, share, subscribe. Do check out our other videos as well that we did last week and some of the giveaway I have posted on there. Only 2 people had responded, so I'm not going to continue doing giveaways if no one's going to really respond to it. So I'm going to extend the giveaway till next week. If I don't get more than I anticipate, I'm not going to tell you how much I want, but if I don't get more than a certain amount of numbers, I'm not doing the giveaway. So, alright guys, make sure you hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next week or during the week if any major news drops or trailers. Alright guys, see you soon, be good, have a good day.